your life, and it's what they call dying while yet living. It's part of doing shadow work while you're going through the dark night of the soul. So when you look back on your life, you see certain patterns, key names, key figures, who's influenced what.
And archetypes. You see certain
Yeah.
archetypes.
So archetype is part of the required study in the priesthood to allow you to understand which aspect of God you're dealing with. The highest aspect of God we call Big Mama. And the next highest aspect of God we call Big Papa. Right? Big Mama feminine, Big Papa masculine, but we call them the old energies. Right? So when you hear about them, call them the gods from days of old. It's written in a lot of the texts around the world, but don't nobody know what it means. Because they don't call for help, they can't get none. They're calling the wrong names. Right? Jesus is spelled Iesous in Greek. Right? Using applied grammar, IE becomes fused as I, S, U cancels out the O and makes the US sound us. So when you pronounce it as a single word, it says ISIS. But the story that it's telling is not the story of ISIS, it's the story of Moses or Horus. Right? So the character, the Old Testament was written as a recovery text for the New Testament, meaning the New Testament was written first.
We were told always told in the church and in Bible college that the Old Testament is the new concealed and the New Testament is the old revealed, and that's the way they kind of played it off. But
because they got to give you the right to discover that the Old Testament is written after the New Testament, which turns religion on its head.
And we were also taught that there were 400 silent years between the ending of the old and book of Malachi and the beginning of the new, and that in those 4 years God was silent. What we do know now, those who study, is that those are years of I guess sort of reconstruction, Renaissance, which ended up being a Renaissance afterward. That was when they were the Piso family and the ones that were
so the misunderstanding comes in.
The ones that were writing, like you said, the one to try to make the two in agreement. That 400-year period, that nobody could read the so-called Bible because they were putting it together.
Right, but that 400-year period is actually a period where apocryphal books was written,
which they, for the most part, disqualified from that. Like the Gnostic texts, they didn't want us to read the Gnostic texts.
Right. Well, not necessarily. They called the apocryphal books.
The apocryphal books, and then later on, the Gnostic, anything that was in gnosis knowledge, we weren't supposed to have that. We were just supposed to believe.
Right. So they got several different groups of information that comes from this understanding of missing books of the Bible. First, source material. Because when you source material back, it's a book called Black Gods Who Wrote the Bible. No, Black Africans Who Wrote the Bible. Right? Because the Bible was written by Etruscan Moors for the purpose of military conquest, and it was compiled and rewritten, I should say, based off ancient texts in order to control the narrative. And the controlled narrative is what Rome has been doing the whole time.
True.
I used to always hear my father say, when you look for the troublemaker, all roads lead to Rome. I don't know what he's talking about. But when I followed it religiously, I ended up with the Nicene Council in 325 AD. When I followed it back politically, I ended up with something called Plato's Republic. When I followed it back socially, I ran into something called a Greco-Roman Empire. When I ran it back from a athletic perspective, I ended up with the Olympiad. So I always ended up in Rome. Mm-hmm. So when I started tracing the dirt doers back, they went straight to Rome. They went to the Nicene Council, 325 and 327. They went back to the ancient writer Origen, who was what they call a first century philosopher. They went back to Saint Augustus, another first century writer of Christendom. How can they be first century writers of Christendom when Christendom don't come about into the 300s? So they lying to us automatically.
Then you had the council of, what's it called, Chalcedon of 451, where they put together the edict of what the Bible was going to be good for. You know what I mean?
Right. So this is when they was.
Yeah. Here, can I read that just a little sentence?
Yep.
It says this council of the Roman Catholic Church, this wise and saving creed, the gift of divine grace, was sufficient for a perfect understanding and establishment of religion. So for its teaching about the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit is complete, and it sets out the Lord's becoming human to those who faithfully accept it. So agenda, they created religion, they created the characterization and the deity of God as a part of what they were doing, and it's in their writings.
Yeah, so it's never been a secret. I was going over the bloody oath of the papacy to murder the kings, princes, and people of the land with young elder, because they put this stuff in the public domain, but most of us don't know we really seriously is in a spiritual war. In spiritual warfare, you have to fight it spiritually, and the effects is going to trickle down to the physical. If you try to fight it physical first, that's like putting the cart in front of the horse.
Right.
Right? You going out the world ass backwards, as my father used to say. Right? So when you put everything in its proper place, don't give it a judgment, and then step back and look at the big picture. Right? So they wrote all of the dirt down that they was gonna do before they done it. That's to absolve them from karmic debt before they do the act. Because now, if you agree to follow through with what they said they were going to do, that was your free will being exercised. They just influenced it. That's why they say the devil don't never tell you what to do. He just suggests it to you. It's just a strong suggestion by a power base that appears to be legitimate. And the appearance of legitimacy is predicated on the paperwork. Because if you don't have the degrees, you should not have the knowledge. Right? Which takes me to the next phase of my incarceration, where I thought I was doing all this studying in vain. So here we are 5-6 years later from hearing this lady in the day room in Cook County telling me to get a PhD. And I'm getting headaches from reading so many books so fast. Right? And the headaches is to the point where they're annoying to me that I don't want to read no more. Right? I don't know nothing about the nutritional burning that the brain is doing. But we go to a Black History celebration, and sister brings in a African dance corps. She was out of Detroit, and she don't know what this lady said when I was in that day room. And she sat there and she said, some of y'all gonna get tired. Y'all gonna think y'all doing everything for nothing. Y'all gonna feel like it's a waste of time, and that you doing a whole lot of research and studying in vain because it's not getting you nowhere. She said, but don't let that deter you. Get your PhD anyway.
So here, it was like a divine relay system. One passed the baton to the next to come, and when you needed a recharge, when you were about to, your battery was running down, when your your faith in what you were doing was running down, then the Most High, Big Mama, sent in reinforcement to reinforce what you've been told.
When I used to get
let me see.
Oh,
see y'all, they messing with us. Let me see. Let me see if he comes back in, y'all. Okay, let me get him back. Are you there? Can you hear? Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Now I hear you. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. So can you repeat that last thing?
Yeah, I was saying after the lady said that the second time, I went and talked to my mother on a visit. She had came up that following weekend. And I said, Mama, the strangest thing happened to me. And I told her the story of the first lady. And I said, then last week this lady came in here, or earlier this week the lady came in and said that, and I told her the story of the second lady. And my mama said, that's the Lord talking to you, baby. You need to listen. She said, but you're going to hear it from somewhere else. Just pay attention. So I'm on the yard and I'm talking to a brother who was a recovering addict and alcoholic. And then nobody used to sit and talk with him because he was a recovering addict and an alcoholic. Can you hear me, Dr. G?
Yes.
Okay. Because you froze on my end. That's why I had to ask you.
Oh, okay.
So we was sitting there talking. And he said, man, I be trying to tell these young guys around here, man, all this time they got on their hands, they want to play basketball. They want to chase boys. They want to get high in the joint. And they need to be in there getting some knowledge with these free books they got. And they got law books. They got history books, whatever you want to learn. Then they got an interlibrary loan where you can get any book you need to get. I don't know why they don't just go and get their PhD and stop playing.
Three, the third time.
Yeah, so that's called three master knots, right? The third one came in off of a male father line who was consumed by vices, right? So it's a vice lord knot. So it's a big mama on the father line giving me a confirmation that the big mama message that came off the mother line that was confirmed by my mother was accurate. I didn't know that when it happened. I put that together years later. Because I'm always reflecting on my life and how to be a better person, I keep going over these lessons that I'm learning. Some of the strangest stuff that happened to me is I would go check a book out in the library, and the book would be so old it don't have an ISBN number, just the title and the author. And I'll write the title and the author down, read the book, take the book back, go back because I might have wanted to review something else a month later, and the book not there. So then I go ask the librarian. He said, we never had that book, and here's not in our records. That used to, and it happened more than several times where I read a book that didn't exist. So then I started asking myself, where in the hell are these books coming from? That they don't exist no more. Right? But now in modern hindsight 2020. When the knowledge was consumed, it caused the Mandela effect, which switched the timeline. And on the other timeline, the same book doesn't exist. It can't be produced on a different timeline. So every time this is happening, I'm experiencing a subtle Mandela effect, never knowing what I experienced because we didn't have a name for it. It wasn't called the Mandela effect at that time.
Sure.
We were still studying the butterfly effect.
Yeah. The butterfly flaps his wings here and then makes it something happen on the other side of the world because of the flutter of the wing. Yeah.
Yep. So he fluttered his wings in Los Angeles as the energy moves back east around the world. By the time it gets to Japan, it's a full-fledged typhoon. Chain reaction, microcosm, macrocosm effect. Right? So in the microcosm, macrocosm, as above, so below, as within, so without. If you want to use universal law to affect change in the world, you apply them to the self as the microcosm, and the reaction takes place in the macrocosm of the external world. It just takes time, the bigger the event is, to manifest into the visual spectrum of the others in the 3D realm. Once you learn this, then you understand how doing real-time numerology gematria and what we call it number flipping is actually, when you're saying it out your mouth, triggering events to take place in the physical world based on what you've seen in real time and what you know from historical record and how you are looking at the problem in order to solve it. So when my mama used to always tell me, don't never let nobody take none of your brothers and sisters' stuff, I wasn't even the oldest child. Why would she keep telling me that? She supposed to be telling my oldest brother and my oldest sister, don't let nobody take your brother and sister stuff. She not supposed to be telling that to number 7. I got 6 people that got to go through.
Yeah.
Right? But I was born on the 10th. That's why I come in on 10. Because my siblings exhausted 1 through 9 already. So why am I going to wait and come? No, I got to come in on 10. So I came in 11-10. That's 11, 2 pillars, 10 toes down on the upright. Sacred seal in 68. Right? On an 11, on a 10-15 birth, which is a 7. To the 7th child, it's a knockback. On a perfect alignment of the stars to bring in an old soul that can solve the problems. Anybody can put my birth date in 11-10-68 and put in a time as 10-15 and look at the alignment of the stars.
Is that AM or PM?
AM in the morning. But when they look at the stellar alignment, they're going to know that that's not a normal reading for, because all of the astrologers that was teaching me astrology, how to read the ephemeris, how to look at a star map, how to triangulate the ground from the stars. I'm learning this from astrologers and astronomers that's been doing it for years. And they keep telling me the same thing. Your alignment.
You froze up again. Let me see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, now I hear you. You get froze for a moment, and so you said they keep
I heard
telling you about
saying, so I know where I stopped at. But okay. These people keep telling me that my alignment is not normal. Right? The only thing that's missing from the calculation is the coordinates to Cook County Hospital by longitude and latitude. And then when I'm the only male child living from that batch of sons that was born. And then what my mama went through giving me birth, they tried to murder my mama in the hospital by giving her the wrong blood that was infected with hepatitis. Right? So when my mother finally passed, it was from it was post transplant, post liver transplant. Right? And because now I can remember almost everything that went on when I was born in the delivery room. I can remember the conversations that the doctors was having on the other side of the room, but I can't tell that to regular people because it totally sounds fucking insane.
Well, we not regular people, so you can tell us.
but most people don't remember being born, so they believe nobody can remember. I remember swimming and doing flips in my mama's stomach.
Wait a minute. For some reason you're breaking up. I think I see.
Before 2 or 3 years old.
Listen, I don't know if it's my side or your side, but the sound is breaking up. I think you said you remember swimming and then in your mouth.
Yeah, I remember swimming in my mama's womb doing flips off her stomach.
What?
I remember. You motherfuckers need to know the difference between a Zionist Moor and a Noble Drew Ali Moor scientist. We scientists first, motherfuckers. We will dissect this shit. But it wasn't a scientific matter. It was historical. The secret was historical. So I had to study history as a scientist. I found it. All they shit laid bare. So when you thinking what ascension is, you like turning into some ghost and drifting off into the sunset and you gonna live forever in this. Look, you here to train, balance yourself out so you can learn how to be a star in the solar system. Your consciousness is infinite. That means that your knowledge has to be infinite if you tap into your consciousness. I had to do all this shit mortal-wise. That means I can't use everything I want to use to get these motherfuckers out of here. I was restricted by the rules of the game. They created rules to a game that if the people was ever to get free, I had to do it as a mortal, regular, average Joe. Because with nobody bleed, you can walk through this shit in the sin. Nobody don't bleed that shit. They believe they got to pray to Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad
Fuck them niggas. Where they at? Don't tell me no Jesus shit. And right now we in a fucking crisis. Jesus ain't showed up yet. Last I seen, he said, I can't help you with this one. I ain't got enough blood for that. How many motherfucking Jesus you got to, how many communions you got to take to eat a whole fucking Jesus? Your cannibal practice. In the Vatican, every time they hold communion in the church, it's a reminder so we don't forget what the fuck they did. So we can put this shit back together. The salat ain't got nothing to do with praying. It got something to do with vibrating with the frequency of the planet. But they had to leave it in there. They can't take it all. They can strip it down and distort it, but they can't take it away. As long as they keep these women in these emotional, jealous fits, they can't ascend like that. That's called chaos order, not order out of chaos. That's chaos order. That means systematic chaos, organized chaos. You create that shit. So when I say I love you, but fuck your feelings is the anchor. That's that invisible chain around your neck. How you fucking feel. Nigga, run out there and get fucking killed. So now, where we did speak telepathically, now we use words. Some of us still speak telepathically because we had to figure out how to take back all that shit they stole. We didn't know they was stealing our whole mind. This shit not what y'all think it is. This about the blood, your blood spilling, and the rights. Undermining the rights to the earth right. With jealousy, rage, and blind fury. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. Them motherfuckers better bring my shit. Because if they don't, I'm not. Look, I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with. I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with. And I did say nigga because until we get back to where we belong, that's all we is to these motherfuckers. It's some niggas and some thugs and some motherfucking criminals and all that shit. They create criminals with their judiciary. They tribes of Judah. There's the judiciary. Then they issue a levy or a lien. Your tribe of Levi, Levi, issues the lien. And then they Al-Sharif, law enforcement, goes in and executes the plan. But y'all don't see none of that shit. Because you don't know what the fuck you is. You don't know where you came from or how you end up in this position. So you let these motherfuckers tell you and play on your emotions. She's cuter than you. I see why he wanted to fuck with her. Yeah, get her all worked up. You a little fatter than her. He like him petite. Motherfucker, you ain't never occurred to a motherfucker. You might just like a motherfucker with a good heart. Fuck what they look like. But motherfuckers don't get that. They don't get that part. Only part they get is I want. My way, I want. Selfish ass shit. So all these selfish, entitled, money-hungry, materialistic motherfuckers, you can go with them. Because that's all they believe in anyway. So you believe like they believe, go with them motherfuckers. Ain't no entitlement. If you don't do your work, you don't get shit. Earn your keep. So my mama used to tell me, if you can't pay your way, nigga, earn your way. I don't know nowhere I've been that I can't go back to for that very reason. So the Morocco is an imitation of California, the Amur Inca. Amur Inca, that's what you call the Amaru land. It's from Alaska, west of the Rockies, all the way down into South America, where you find the great General Tupac Amaru in history. This shit ain't no accident that a motherfucker named Tupac Amaru did a war dance in your face and you don't even know what a war dance is. Chief Sitting Bull, or Chief Sitting Bull, you call him Biggie. Y'all motherfuckers asleep as fuck. talking about y'all woke. You diet woke motherfuckers ain't woke yet. If y'all was woke, you would know this shit don't got, all they want to do is get you emotionally enraged, and then they can take you everywhere they want to go. All they got to do is tell you, this is the way we can give you some relief. They can't legislate shit on Capitol Hill for me. They can't legislate shit in their state capitol on my behalf. All that slavery, organized systemic slavery, bondage. So this is why they told you in your good book that he was going to come and take you from the law unto grace. Why wouldn't a motherfucker need law? He a good motherfucker. He ain't gonna do nothing to violate nobody no way unless they violate him and he is first. You don't teach the children right, we fuck. Y'all don't start waking up, y'all fuck. I'm not, I got my team. Everybody that's my inner circle been through the fire either with me or because of me, and they still stood there. They still stood there. The majority of you motherfuckers treated me like shit. And I didn't even give a fuck because I wasn't here for that. I didn't come here to get grooming treatments like your pet. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to get my nose brown kissing on none of these motherfuckers' ass. I can cut all their heads off. Everybody in a power position on this globe, I can literally personally go cut their goddamn head off and won't feel no way about it because they in the way. They the enemy. Everything you think is a power position is a hostage keeper. The president is a hostage keeping position. Y'all don't even know what his fucking job is, and you don't know he ain't the head of state. He's the head of the military. That's it. Everything he do is military. Ain't none of that shit legislative or judicial. It's all about interim government maintaining control of an out of control environment. And you motherfuckers want to get back under that shit. You got to want to get back under it because y'all out there marching to, you take your knee off his neck so you can put your foot on mine. And y'all got this shit fucked up. Where the fuck you niggas come from? Where did they birth y'all at? Was y'all born in a toxic waste dump or something? Was y'all born at your head in a bucket of bleach where you blind you for your mental? What the fuck is you motherfuckers thinking? All this shit is to trick you, and you falling for it. I'm watching you fall. I'm supposed to be good with that. Watching y'all fall for the same okie doke. The Civil War was not what they told you it was. Now, put it in there. How did we get here? From Rulers to Rogues, part 1 and 2. I posted them yesterday. And exactly what is a Jew and a satanic Jew? These motherfuckers is not us. They look like us. They walk with a secret relation between the blacks and the Jews is exposed today, motherfuckers. This is why they don't want Farrakhan talking about that book. Because he started talking about that book, you niggas gonna start doing some research, and then y'all gonna say, why is this black slave owner right here the same motherfucker in this Jewish book as a Jew? But he black, but he a Jew. He a Zionist Jew. He's a conquistador. He the same motherfucker that put you in bondage, but you gonna go out here and fight his fucking war for him. The same motherfucker that put you in bondage got you fighting both sides of the war. You ain't fighting one side. You fighting two sides of his war. He's standing back with his motherfucking black gloves on, doing like this, watching you motherfuckers. Remember the Asian dude that stood there? It was a four police officers, apocalypse motherfuckers, a red horse, Asian, a black horse, that nigga that was with him, a pale horse, one who brings death, who pushes the breath out, and then it's a black horse, the one who measures, observes, the observer. All four of them motherfuckers standing there, and y'all don't even see none of that shit. But y'all think I'm crazy. I'm trying to wake you motherfuckers from that slumber, and they gonna take you by your emotions and drag your ass to hell. And remember this. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. All you motherfucking mean-well ass niggas, you Jesse Jackson ass niggas, Elijah Cumming ass niggas, skin you motherfuckers alive, chop your head off, grind you up into dog food, nigga, and feed you to the puppies. You some rotten motherfuckers. Because you insiders, you know. You know. Slide a goddamn piece of paper under the table and tell your fucking brothers what the fuck going on. You coward ass, bitch made ass niggas. Fry your ass like a piece of chicken. Like they've been doing us. Because you stupid motherfuckers keep falling for the same shit. I'm not falling for it. I'm going to watch y'all fall, and I'm going to clean up what's left with my crew when it's over with. When they call this 48-hour lockdown, that's when all of the dirt comes out in the open. That's when you watch mainstream media. While you on lockdown, watch the fuck out the news, because that's when they going to start telling you what's going on in D.C. That's when they going to start telling you about the deep state being drained. The swamp is drained. This is when they going to tell you, when you on lockdown, so you can focus. They got you in an uproar right now. Your emotions at an all-time high. You mean you're at an all-time low thought-wise. That means your thinking is the lowest level it's ever been right now because your emotions is in charge, not me. Fuck the dumb shit. After you get done getting mad, what you gonna do? Sign another contract? Make another blood oath to these motherfuckers? I'm not doing it, and it ain't being done on my watch because you can take your ass over there where they at. They won't be on this planet, but wherever the fuck they go, you can go be their food. You can go be their food. They don't look, they created something called a golem, and then they use various different genetic techniques to make them compatible with DNA-wise so they can replicate. They was mules. I mean, they was not able to have sex or reproduce, except for the females could carry, but they couldn't conceive. That means they was used as what they call birth maidens. They could give birth, but they couldn't conceive because they didn't have ovum. They wasn't real. They was incubators. Now, when they find out how to break the barrier, right? How do you break the AI blood barrier? Nanotech, DNA, strip down the DNA. Y'all fell for that shit too. When I tried to tell you motherfuckers in Egypt that this shit wasn't right, motherfuckers laughed me out there. Now all of these motherfuckers want to come and say I was right. I don't want to be right after the fact. It's too late now. We can't undo this. The next shit that's coming up, though, I want to be right about this shit so we don't have to be oppressed no more. That's the shit I want to be. I don't give a fuck about being right when I told you these motherfuckers ain't gonna do nothing but cause mischief and bloodshed, and that's all they did. And then y'all laughed at me and called me the goddamn devil. What they do? Cause mischief and bloodshed. Then what else tell them motherfuckers? What else? I'm gonna have to be the one clean this shit up when it's all said and done, because y'all don't understand the sequence of the DNA, the vibration of the solar ray on the earth. Y'all don't understand the magnetic frequencies between the planet's pole system and the upper atmosphere. You don't even know how to use your body as a radio receiver and as a radio motherfucking transmitter yet. You radio head. This shit ain't real. It's here for a training purpose. And some motherfuckers that ain't supposed to be here came down here and fucked some shit up, and y'all kissed their motherfucking ass because y'all thought these motherfuckers was gonna outdo me. Trick no good. They deposit is rejected. Get my shit to the motherfucking house. Wake up, nigga. Wake the fuck up for real. Well, not that diet woke shit. Don't be diet woke. That shit not gonna serve you no purpose. Get in your emotions and run out to the slaughterhouse. This ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to think past the emotion. If your emotion is in context, that means you feel the way you're supposed to feel. That means that they're going to run you. That means you got to think past the emotion. If I follow this course of action with this emotion, what's I'm going to produce? Half you nicking off because y'all ain't producing shit, but it feel good to sound like you know something. Wake up. This the wake up call. I don't even know. I can't say it no clearer than this. I'm going to go over it again. The nigga on the ground was a blackamoor. The nigga on his neck was a Tawny Moore. We ain't fucking them. Take it for what it's worth. I'm going to go through and let's see what's in this motherfucking comment section. Where the fuck this shit come from? I can't even. Oh, I know what to do. So I'm gonna go on there and I'm gonna look at the comments, see if I got any questions I need to ask. Y'all falling for the same shit that got you in slavery. The same shit that got you under Jim Crow. Y'all falling for the same shit. They give you a couple of things. You a billionaire. A quadrillionaire. You a quadrillionaire. But you don't know it. So every time you raise a little bit of hell, the motherfucker give you a couple $100,000 and say stay up. They treat you like you a record recording artist on a 24/7 deal. 365 on that motherfucking shit. And you don't see it. Emotions is created. Not emotions, jealous emotions. It's created. That shit from the oppressor. And all you go, yeah. Look, Wonder Woman is Diana. Diana is Inanna. Inanna is Isis. That's the true guardian of the planet. Now, the newer Wonder Woman got more of her real abilities than the old one. All of those superheroes is y'all history cloaked. Iron Man is a woman. Fe is the chemical code for iron. You do the math. And they got a man in the suit. You do the math. A female. Female. You right, Cecil. They showed putting these motherfuckers back to sleep with the same trick. We at the Civil War stage again, where everybody run out in the streets up in arms, screaming for blood and vengeance, and don't nobody see what's going on. Then the ones who guilty, they gonna walk away from this shit because y'all gonna think it's somebody else. Yep, we got Damien. We got this asteroid about to pass us in the next 24 hours. It's gonna carry a lot of radiation with it, and it's also gonna help pull on the atmosphere as it expands to increase the rate of shoe definite resonance, so we can get off this double masculine shoe and men resonance with this homosexual shit. Not that I got anything wrong with gay people. If that's how they was born, that's how they was born, because it's a lot of people that was born that way. Yes, Inanna. Look, everybody y'all be talking about this humans and Caucasians is Neanderthals. What the fuck is y'all talking about? Them motherfuckers came from us. Read African Presses, Early Asia, Iceman Inheritance, and catch up. The Neanderthal wasn't pale-skinned Europeans. That's the first thing y'all got fucked up. The Cro-Magnon wasn't no pale-skinned Europeans. Y'all got that fucked up too. The first sapien, or Homo sapien, wasn't no pale-skinned European. Y'all got that fucked up too. It wasn't until the sapien came along and they created an artificial sapien, a Homo sapien, that was not quite as sapient as the sapien. And y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. That sounds like a riddle to y'all, so I'm gonna break that shit down to you. The word Homo sapien means thinking man. The Homo sapien is the advancement of the thinking man into a higher thinking man. So they call us the Homo sapien species as we are now, right? But we behaving like sapiens because we only working with 32 degrees of knowledge. That's the freezing point of water. So what is it doing to your brain if your brain's 70% water, 80% water, whatever the case may be? If your brain is primarily water and you only got 32 degrees of knowledge, your shit froze in place. You can't break past that barrier. You need to develop your 360 so you can develop your 720. Then you can flip that shit on the 1440. Y'all don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about because y'all don't know science at the base level, physics. All this shit you're supposed to know by the time you graduated junior high school. This shit is elementary shit for us as a people. That's why Nigeria was the great brain drain. Offer these, they keep them motherfuckers still all they shit and then keep them in a constant state of oppression. So any motherfucker that learn how to think a little bit, go over there, can make some money and send it home to feed his family. And then he get caught over there. He can't come back now. This is too much shit that he's tired. They got him too much entwined in. Y'all motherfuckers a motherfucker with y'all shit. At least you seen it, Mob. At least you seen it. Because some motherfuckers ain't gonna never see the connection. This ain't got nothing to do with us. They fighting among themselves on who gonna be the one present the contract. Contract expired. Right. So they don't want these people to cut the strings, Tyrone. So what do? They make the people continue to chase their goddamn tail. Yep. So all this radiation and shit, this is where I turn into the fucking hawk on these bitches. Osiris and this bitch. I'm the earthborn child of the stars. I know how I got here. I rolled in on a beam of motherfucking light. And then I was asked to come here for this purpose. For sure, Emil. Yep, full moon Friday. That's called the cherry moon. That's why Prince wrote. He did a whole album called Under the Cherry Moon, and I think the New Edition did a similar one, something like Under the something moon. But all that's symbolic of the same shit. Time frame recognition. Look, man. Y'all got this European thing mixed all the way up. Every human on this planet got a piece of the DNA of every other lesser species on this planet. The human is the highest known animal species of the planet. You can watch evolution in the womb if you watch fetal development from a goddamn zygote to a cluster, to a tadpole, all that shit in there, to a little monkey, to an extraterrestrial gray, all that shit in the womb. Y'all stop thinking that, look, any motherfucker, you cut that motherfucker, he bleed red. Everybody don't bleed red. Some people blood is literally purple, and some people blood is literally blue, and some people blood is literally green. The people with the green blood ain't from here, but they came to help your dumb ass. Most of them came in consciously on a light beam, like I did, when the whole creation was about to take place. I had to draw this shit out in nothingness in order for something to be here, in order to have this shit. That's the job of every one of us. When we get to our own highest form of consciousness, we get to be a solar orb. We get to be a sun, S-U-N. And then we get our own solar system. That's why that you always see stars infinite out there. You'll run out of counting people before you run out of counting stars. Hell, one quadrant, if you can look deep enough and take a picture, you can count more people in one quadrant than you can on the whole earth. There's plenty of room for us if we wake the fuck up. I started this shit in the 9th dimension. I didn't want to fuck with you third dimensional vibrating motherfuckers. I was building me an escape hatch. I was building me an exit tunnel. And then I got to the top of that motherfucker. They say, no, you can't come by your motherfucking self, nigga. We sent you to come back with a whole army of motherfuckers and you by your goddamn self. I said, them motherfuckers sleep. They dead. They ain't no good. They don't want to come. They say they don't know yet. Take your ass back. Go get them motherfuckers we sent you in there to get. Mama, don't take that bullshit. Do your job. So then here I am back in this motherfucker looking dumb to these ignorant motherfuckers who can't think their way out of a paper bag. Every motherfucking doctor I sat with asking me what university did I go to medical school in. Every lawyer I'm sitting and talk to asking me where did I graduate law school. They swear I done went to Princeton, Harvard, or Yale. I say, man, I got a GED. I got a guerrilla educational degree. Motherfucker, I did this shit guerrilla style myself. You motherfuckers ain't teach me shit but how to be oppressed. I don't want to be oppressed. I don't want to learn that fucking lesson. Why would I want to learn that lesson? How to be oppressed 101. Send your child to school. So we can watch them on the auction block so we can have our pick and our choose. Oh, that's not my shit. I'm not with that. I don't believe in that shit. This is how you teach them how to follow a bell. So what they do, they rung the fucking bell and y'all went to recess. Now all you niggas out in the streets on recess because y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up seriously. Michael Staples, let me correct you on one thing. The black man is not the maker and the owner and the cream of the planet Earth. The black woman is. That's the only thing wrong with that entire statement. For you Christians, God so loved the world, she gave her only begotten parthogenic son to come clean this shit up. Ain't none of that shit. When they start telling you a man God over the woman, you full of shit. Because can't no man bring life into this world. They can't birth a seed. This is what this shit about in the beginning. A bunch of sissies thought they was outdo the woman by creating artificial wombs and jumping and giving birth to babies. This is what this shit about. Jealousy, deceit, trickery, deception, and y'all fall for this shit. Man, that emotional drug is a motherfucker. A story. And they've been trying to figure out the Nazca lines for years. For years. I'm not going to tell y'all what they is right now, but I'm going to point out a couple of symbols in there. One, you see the phoenix bird. And for two, you see a monkey. The irony is the particular monkey strain that is not from South America, it's from Africa. Or what we call Africa today. And in the process of looking at the Nazca lines, that's telling you something. So now what do you connect this to? You connect it to as the sun shine in the east, even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. What do that mean? Well, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So when you look at the symbol of the monkey, if you go to the east, you'll find Sun Wukong in China. You'll find Hanuman in India, the east.
Then it sets in the west. And you got this monkey in this Nazca strip to show you that the sun also sets in the west. So the whole thing about the Nazca lines is they are a sign for a specific time. From there, you go to back to your historical record. Now, when we talk about historians, over here we have a historian on YouTube named Dane Calloway. And Dane Calloway is tasked with the job of digging up the skeleton from the grave, so to speak, and reassembling the body. And he needed to do that in order for us to have references. And if you go to his channel, he got a lot of good videos. In one of his videos, he got a picture of Europeans landing in America. And behind this European, they got this little black guy looking like he's terrified. And don't nobody know what that is. So let me give y'all a little help. I told y'all before in one of my videos, Truth in Plain Sight videos, that Peter Falk, or Peter the Falcon, was a clue. And he played Columbo. And Columbo was the name of Christopher Columbus, who was actually a investigator. So when you go back and you look at the history, they even tell you he's an investigator. What is he an investigator for? He's working for somebody else, but they are presenting him to the Queen to get funding. And he has a navigator, a little black guy named Peter the Black, or Pietro del Negro. And that's a Spanish name. Pay attention. It's a Spanish name. Pay attention. So this little black guy came from Spain. He didn't come from the Caribbean, because they hadn't found that yet, according to the historical record. And he didn't. So he couldn't in the historical record. So they didn't find that yet. Ooh. You all right? Okay. So let me get back to this. So yeah, they know he know what's real. See, they can't trick him. Like a lot of our historians can be deceived, but you can't deceive Dane Calloway because he know what's up. So let's deal with this Pietro del Negro, or Peter the Black. Peter the Black history is pretty obscure for some reason. Why they don't want us to know who he is? Because, you know, they always got a habit of hiding the history. So it's ironic that Peter the Black was the navigator. What do that mean? He was the star reader. He was the star reader that was to guide the investigator Columbo to the new land. Now, they told y'all about a new world order. They didn't tell y'all that we've been under the new world for hundreds of years, ever since them suckers landed over here and we lost the war. They said that this was the new world. So all of this old American colonial garbage is the fault of those hidden hands. Now, we see I'm going to give you an example of a hidden hand, because don't nobody think that we can ever figure this out. Point a couple things out. World War II, Adolf Hitler, they said he was the wickedest man that ever lived. They all getting out the imposters for this time, because we needed to have it where when we make this move, we don't fail. So Adolf Hitler, in Mein Kampf, there was a story that he's telling about a lady that turned on them, that turned on the Reich. And this lady that turned on the Reich was found dead in the woods, and above her head was a note pinned to the tree. And the note read, "You bitch, you have betrayed the fatherland. Now you have been judged by the black hand." The fuck is the black hand? My father was a little boy. He used to tell us these stories when I was a shorty. He said, "I don't know who these people is.
He said, but we was terrified of the black hand. Every time somebody started getting some money, they tell them, hey, you can't be getting all that money, man. You're going to have to answer to the black hand. So where's the black hand? So remember, we got to have a dog in every fight in this divide and conquer mechanism that was laid down in Babylon. A dog in every fight. Now, peep game. Go to California now. Look at their symbol. Their symbol is the black fist. Why do these pale-skinned fake Jews have a black fist for their symbol? It doesn't make sense. Don't make sense. That don't match. Because they think about, according to the record keepers over there in Israel, they look at us the same way, or even worse than other Caucasians. They look at us as like we are their source of economics. We the source. We the root. We like to, when you dig a mine in the ground and you get the material, the minerals out, we they mineral. Everywhere we set up shop, you found Jewish shops set up in our community. Everywhere. And these Jewish shops would always try to suck us blood dry, but they would always make us have this illusion that they're giving us a deal. They call it Jewing you down. I'm going to go Jew him down for that price on that because that's too much. He's going to charge you $50 for something. You Jew him down to $25, but it's really only worth $10. Most people don't understand the Jew process, to Jew him down. So now, the black hand is the black fist of the Jewish Defense League. I want y'all to think about that. Let that sink in. It has a black fist, are imposters. So who is behind it? Who's pushing the agenda with this black hand? Now, is it anywhere else? Is it anywhere else? It's a political text called The Unseen Hand by Ralph Epperson, where he was able to discover a massive amount of information on the deception. Now, I told y'all we just recapping and mostly dropping references, so put that in y'all codex. Ralph Epperson, The Unseen Hand. He got a lot of information in there that's going to open you up to this political scam. All right? So, Dane Calloway, who was actually he's an Olmec, see? So we had different tribes. He was from the Olmecs. And that's why when you look down there, when you look at his picture of Dane Calloway, he looked just like an Olmec. When you look at me and you look at the long face, then you already know what you're dealing with. You know where I'm from. I'm from the Washita Nation before they were Washita Moors. I am Quetzalcoatl of the Aztecs, but because of the conditioning, I had to come under a different tribe, the tribe of the Chief of the Two Feathers, Chief Pontiac. And the two feathers represent the truth. And all Moors know that Chief Pontiac standing on his 45 holding up his second, meaning that he's firmly, squarely standing on the truth. He don't give a damn what they think about it. So, what do this mean? Let's give me y'all some more references about some stuff I said before about the entertainment industry being controlled by hidden forces. I told y'all that Farrakhan was sent to L. Ron Hubbard for a reason. Because under Dianetics, you can't get extorted by Hollywood. They don't extort them. They can't, because the power and the force of this group is too strong. Now, a lot of people get the founder, Mary Eddy, mixed up with Mary Baker Eddy. Mary Baker Eddy was the founder of Christian Science, and the other lady was the founder of the Church of Scientology, but they are interrelated. See, we made agreements to get out from under this oppressive regime of these imposters a long time ago. Those who did not have the right to ascend would become grateful when they was given that opportunity to go to the next level and to be able to perform. So, I mentioned the Oscars before being an award for Europeans, and Oscar was a black guy. Because they were, it was designed for them, people that look like us didn't get awards at the Oscars. Because it wasn't for us. See, I mentioned as another reference, the painting that Leonardo da Vinci put up
that shows you the whole man in biomechanics, the complete and perfected man. But what is he talking about? The complete and perfected man. Well, we all know that Solomon was the builder of the temple. Solomon is the soul of the man, and in the temple that he was building was the temple of man. And this particular man was the last addition to the human family that was being used as an oppressor. The whole thing was that we would all one day be so confused that we rise up and join all of the Caucasians, all these Europeans. They ain't the problem and they ain't the source. I told y'all they're not the problem, they're not the source. In order for you to escape the dividing... In order for you to escape the divide and conquer mechanism, you have to be able to have a dog in every fight, and you have to be able to... Hey, I'm going to push this on pause for a minute while I got to deal with something. All right, so we go back to the structure, and we go back to the references. Everything is discoverable if you know what you're looking for. Everything is discoverable. So we got to put all the pieces together. So we got somebody in every fight. We got a dog in every fight. I want to go back to Noble Drew Ali because don't nobody understand how he started a whole different organization, right? He started a different Moorish organization. Go back to the beginning, it was called the Moorish Zionist Temple of Islam. The Moorish Zionist Temple of Islam. Now, who in the hell is them people and where are they at today? I don't know. What happened to Noble Drew Ali? We had a meeting in the Travel Lodge years ago. And they realized it was a piece missing. So they called a brother up from Jamaica, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, to give us the final piece to the puzzle so that we could put this African conjure down on their head. They can't escape it. See, what we did is a reversal conjure. A reversal conjure. That means that all of the dirt they playing for us go back to them. Right? All of the backbiting, all of the thievery go back to them. So, in this process, we put a dog in every fight. Noble Drew Ali was our first point man in the Moorish temple. Now, there's a difference between a Moor, there's a Moabite, and Almoravid. The defenders of the faith are not the same as Moors. Almoravid, as you can find them, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima talk about